Hello Chelsea fans, welcome to yet another video. This one coming after a 2-1 victory at home to Crystal Palace, and definitely something worth cheering. Now, we can go to YouTube and look out for all the highlights, look out for all the quotes from Pochettino and all the people, and yes, we can smile. Doesn't mean we love the man anymore, doesn't mean now we've changed our minds or anything, but at the end of the day, we love a winning Chelsea side. Here is my review of that game that was not the easiest of them all. All right, Chelsea fans, my name is Desire Derek from Mugumisa. Thank you so much for being a part of this particular video. And yes, I urge you to subscribe, to like this video, and please turn on those notification bells so you don't get to miss out on all the content that we get to bring to you every single day. Now, we won 2-1 at home versus Crystal Palace. First and foremost, this was yet another game that we made much harder than it should have been, but hey, I'm glad that we got to win. And this simply because we finally won a game that on any other day we could have gotten to lose. Why? I think it's popular knowledge by now. We know that if Chelsea are going to play against a striker who's gone on a long run without a victory, they're going to give that guy that goal. If they're going to go up against a goalkeeper that has been struggling to get clean sheets, we're going to give them that clean sheet. If we're going up against a side like Crystal Palace were today, that have been struggling to win games, that have been losing them and have been drawing and all of those kinds of things, we're probably going to be giving them their first win in a long while. Matter of fact, we gave Crystal Palace just that. In a similar game, they beat us 2-1 at Stamford Bridge some years ago, and of course there was that troll about Chelsea want to cry, if you remember that particular one. So yeah, I'm glad that we got to win this game. Now, again, looking at the positives of this particular one, we had Nkunku get to start a game. Of course, it is the situation that got to force start, I would imagine. Otherwise, he would have been coming off the bench today if Sterling and Palmer were not suspended for that game today. So maybe we get to thank them for being suspended in one way or the other. We got to see something that we hadn't seen of Chelsea in a long, long while. Someone that was making things happen. And that first goal, in as much as Malo Gusto gets to cut back for Modric, who expertly gets to convert, it was really Nkunku's work at the top of the D in the particular one. Do we call them the D as well in football? But yes, I'm trying to go direct with that pass getting intercepted, but still having the mind to pick out Malo Gusto, who had by now crossed over to his left. So good work coming in from Nkunku. But yes, that chemistry between Nkunku, Modric and Jackson, a little bit of what we had seen in the preseason, we got to see it yet again today. So that was a huge positive among so many other positives, and I will be hinting on those. However, there was that goal that we conceded, the 1-1 at the end of the half, where we had played so well and you would have thought, oh, we're now going to go back to the dressing room, we're going to have a conversation, come back and build on to this 1-0 lead that we have. And then at the death, we give away a goal. And for me, yet again, the selection coming in from, that is Pochettino. But it's not just the selection for me, because if you're going to go by the selection, then it made perfect sense. Mauricio Pochettino, how does he love to play? He wants one wing back going forward, one staying back, and all of those kinds of things. That is just how he plays. He's going to fit all the players he gets into that system. And for me, that's where the rigidity gets to come in and all of that. So going by his tactics, that is all he could do today. But once again, we were exposed, because what we have is a centre-back playing at left-back, and when the cross came in, of course, the centre-back instinctively is going to be going for that header against the striker. It is going to be very rare that the centre-back is going to think of the wing and all of that. And yeah, Colwill gets to jump in, goes with Badiashile. They both fail to get the ball off Mateta. And what does that leave us? A winger that is Olise, all free, very quick execution on his part as well. And of course, getting to find the goal right there. We had a left-back on the pitch. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, if you do have Gusto and you do have Madsen, yes, find a way of adjusting your tactics to be able able to find that? Do you have a central midfielder who will keep trying to cover as much of Madsen as possible, or as Gusto as possible, but play natural fullbacks? It is not the first coach that has had to play two fullbacks and all of that. Again, try the three at the back with Madsen, of course, getting to play the left wing back and all of that. That fluidity for me is what is lacking with Mauricio Pochettino, and I think it's what cost us that goal right there. Now, of course, Badiashile continuing to struggle. Poor pass out from the back is what got to lead to that goal, because I think he had so many other positions, but I think he was panicky and all of that. He's not in a very good mental space of confidence and all of that. And yeah, quite a loose pass. Of course, Madsen is bullied off the ball. It comes back in. We know how it ended. 1-1 halftime. We go in there. We didn't exactly come back for the second half. Again, Mauricio Pochettino got to hit us with the poor substitutions in there. The team failing to, come together when the substitutions got to come through. But for me, once again, it was good to see Noni Madueke get on the pitch and prove the manager wrong, because again, we've seen him be fit and fail to come into the side. Just recently, we had Pochettino in the press conference saying he has to work harder, he has to get into the team and all of that. When you get an opportunity like he did today, coming in the second half and get put in the shape that he did, he finally gave us the danger we needed to have, the penetration we needed to have on that right wing. He was cutting in, he was giving, the Palace defenders all kinds of problems. Tyrell Mitchell, of course, getting to face the most of those. He went on to give us that danger and penetration. He won that penalty himself and then went ahead to convert it so coolly. It is quite an interesting time to be a Chelsea fan, because when we got that penalty, I think everyone across the world that is a Chelsea fan was wondering who gets to take it. I don't think we have anyone on the pitch that can take a penalty. Of course, Nkunku was off. Cole Palmer has been suspended for a minute. We've seen Enzo Fernandez ask for these. He's not available at the moment and all of that. Very good to see Noni Madueke still standing up and saying, give it to me. And of course, executing it so perfectly, such calmness, no nerves whatsoever, and getting to get us that goal that ends up winning us the game. It was interesting to look at Pochettino, and you could see the body language. You couldn't even celebrate it as much as he would have if it was a player he has not treated the way, or a player with whom he has not had the kind of relationship they seem to be having with Noni Madueke. But yes, big relief of Pochettino's shoulders in there. It will help him to try and settle in right there. But I thought I would also get to point this one out. So a player that Pochettino left on the bench yet again, when of course Noni Madueke will have thought, oh, Sterling, Palmer both suspended, this is my opportunity to play. You are left on the bench. A left back is played in your position and all of that. So it's good to see that this left back was later substituted. Noni Madueke got to come in, of course, according to Poche's tactics. So I don't know why I keep calling them statistics. Tactics. Disasi comes to the right wing. Now he can afford a more outward going winger. He comes on and gets to give us that width. Oh my goodness, he hugged that line so well and got to, of course, just give us much more options in the middle for that extra pass or two and all of that. Again, everything to show us that Pochettino is out of his depth with his Chelsea job. I've pointed out just about what I thought turned out that way. But yeah, out of his depth in there. But I am not going to be one of the guys that I've seen on Twitter and a couple of other platforms who actually are looking forward to games like these so Chelsea can lose, so Pochettino can be sacked. I think Pochettino is going to do a good enough job to get himself sacked. We don't have to have Chelsea lose games and all of that. I mean, we already see on the pitch that not much is really happening with this particular side, apart from the individual brilliance. Again, even today, the individual brilliance of Nkunku was taken care of, and Chelsea just went blank in the second half. And we cannot continue this way. We need to have systems in place that get to deliver the results, that get to support the players and all of that. Pochettino will do a good enough job getting himself out of that job. Let's not be the guys that wish Chelsea get to lose games and all of that. Credible mention to Thiago Silva. He came on 39 years of age and just gave us that extra outlet with all those balls coming over Amanda Broya looking like the actual number 9 in this team rather than Nicholas Jackson. So that was also interesting to watch. In the first half, Nicholas Jackson looking like he had been relieved of the primary duty to score goals, but to try and facilitate Mudryk, and Nkunku doing a brilliant job at that as well. I thought he did some great hold-up play, especially in that first half. So good stuff to watch as well as far as that game is concerned. Romeo Lavia finally making his debut today, I think, is also one of the big highlights right there. Glad that he does that as we get to win a game. Already you could see that he is not up to speed. He's not at the level that we saw him at when he crossed to Manchester City to go to Southampton, and Chelsea tried to throw in that offer to get him to Chelsea and all of that. He's not at that level, but you could see immediately that now, and I hope we'll be seeing more of it as we get to go. Caicedo was freer to go forward, and you could see him get to battle for balls right outside the box of Crystal Palace freely without the need to just jump back in. Of course, they kept exchanging those roles. At some point, you got to see that Gallagher was the deepest of the Chelsea midfielders. So it's quite a bit to get to watch. But yes, that calmness, that not rushing kind of situation that Lavia already was showing in his first game back was also good to see. And I can only hope that everything gets better. I would want to hear from you on what you saw that game as. How happy are you that we finally won a game right there? And well, where do we go from here? We have a game against Luton over the weekend, I do believe. Then we have, I think it should be, is that Borough or something? But yeah, we have the FA Cup, I think, is up next in there. We have the League Cup somewhere in there. Quite a round of fixtures. You want to think that these fixtures are winnable, and with the way we started the first half, maybe, just maybe, we are in a better position to get to win such games. So hopefully everything goes just as planned. That is my review of this game. Chelsea 2, Crystal Palace 1 in the English Premier League, as we continue to battle for an opportunity to get back in the top 10. That's just how far we've fallen off. Get engaging in the comment section. Let's get to have those conversations. And while at it, please ensure that by the time you finish this video, or by the time you get to this level, you subscribe to the channel, you've turned on the notification bell, and that you're sharing this video with as many people as possible. Let's build this community. There's so much we are bound to be doing together. My name is Desire Derek Ford Mugumisa, and that was this edition of Mugumisa Talks Chelsea. Let's keep the blue flag flying high.